is from about 2,000 years. And in that stage, he called math bus. Yes, just as the left picture, as the left pictures. And in that time, the master bus usually deployed on the hardware. And in that maybe in the past in the 2000 years, such as IBM MQ, typical Solidus, all the software, all the middleware can be used by the local companies to transmission the data from one software to another software. Yeah, this is the first generation. And the second generation event system we call the master queue. A master queue is just the central, just the middle pictures. The master queue may be born in about 2020 and 2010. The famous master queue like Apache Kafka. Maybe AWS Kinesis is also the master queue. And the second generation master queue is also support the different software to transmission the data. It also and then it also support send and receive the message between different microservices. Yeah, because in that second stage, microservices are used by many companies. For example, the digital companies, the internet companies also use the microservice architecture to build their systems. So microservice in that time is very popular, and the master queue born to support the microservice between the microservice to to let the message from one microservice to another microservice. Yeah, I think the third generation, event system is called event processing platform or event streaming platform. Yeah, Venus is also the third generation. It's called is also an open source event streaming platform. Just like maybe AWS Event Bridge or Red Panda is also the same type software. And the third generation event system is very different from the second generation, just as the right pictures. In the right picture, you can see from the second generation, master queue is only include the queue, but in the third generation, the event processing platform also the core of the event processing platform include two parts. The first part is also a master queue. It's used to event store. And the second part is we call the event processing or event computing. It's used to processing some event in real time. Now, yeah, this is the core difference from the second generation to the third generation. And the second difference is the second generation. The second difference is the software they support. And in the third generation event system it also supports microservice to send the message send message. For example, if there are sorry. For example, if there are three microservices, A microservice want to send the message to B and C microservice, they also can use the third generation event system to send send and receive the message. But there are at the same time the third generation event system also can use to send SaaS event and cloud service event. For example, in this example, there are some SaaS now at the just we can discuss nowadays many digital enterprise use the SaaS to employ their business logic. For example, they can use GitHub, Shopify, and Salesforce, and so on. All these SaaS generated many events, and they want to maybe they want to analysis and to handle some event. So Venus and this type of third generation event systems can transmission this cloud service, this cloud events from the SaaS to the maybe to the data lakes to the database and so on. Yes. So the third generation event system can also connect SaaS and cloud service and microservice, and also it also can connect a new workflow we call the serverless. For example, AWS Lambda, Knative, and Cloud Run or Cloud Function is also the service, because in the future, in the future software architecture, many enterprise can use the service to build their applications, such as Lambda. If you know Lambda, you can maybe you can read some report to, for example, the dog service report. You can if you can see that report, you know the AWS Lambda now is very is used for many users, and it's increased it increased very quickly. Yeah. This is the third generation event system we call event processing platform. Okay, now we also to introduce the Vanus. Yeah, Vanus is the central yes, the central nervous system of enterprise on the cloud. Yeah, Venus is a generation event streaming platform, and it have three features. The first is Venus is Kubernetes native. Yeah, it's because it born in 2021. So in these times, the Kubernetes is used for many enterprise, and Venus is built on the Kubernetes. And the second feature is Venus is seamless the cloud functions. And if the users want to use the cloud function to process the cloud events or other messages, maybe Venus is the best choice. Because if you use the cloud function to process the events, Venus can deliver the events very quickly to the cloud functions, and the efficiency is very better. The other event streaming platform. And the third feature is Venus have many connectors. And in the event streaming platform, connectors is very important. If you use the many connectors, means the users can get the events from the start very easy. So I think connector is important. And the Venus also have many advanced. For example, first is zero operator. use Vanus, no need to operate it manually for scale down and scale up like the clusters. This is very different between other event streaming platform like, for example, Kafka. Maybe you can use use Kafka to build your data pipelines, but Kafka maybe you use Kafka, you can manually to scaling up and scaling down. Yeah, it's maybe take you a lot of times, but if you use Vanus, it's very easy, and you can have one command to installations. Yeah, and the second advance is fully elastic. Yes, Venus can Venus traffic based Venus have traffic based scaling. Yeah, if there are many, for example, many in many companies, his traffic is very different based on the time. For example, in Uber, if in the if many people want to go home, maybe he used the Uber to buy a taxi. But in that time, the Uber is very busy and many traffic to the Uber system. In that time, if you use the Venus, the Venus can scaling a huge cluster very quickly. And if the traffic is increased, and the Venus can scale down. Yeah, this is the second. And the third advance is Venus have high performance. Yeah. Now you can use the Venus. Venus usually deployed in the Kubernetes. So now we can, yeah. Now you can run Venus maybe one core. You can get 20,000 query per second. Use one core maybe. Yeah. And the first advance is Venus have a great built-in ability of event processing. Yeah. And the next slide I will introduce this core features. He have filter and transform and AI and Windows-based calculation. Yeah, this is the overview of advantages of Vanus. If some okay, let's. Okay, this is the architecture of Venus, and I also have a shortly interview the architectures. Venus have two parts. The first part is Venus Core, and the second part is Venus Connect. Venus Core also includes two parts. The first part is event store. The second part, maybe I have a pen. Is clear. Okay. The Venus core also have two parts. The first part is event store. Event store can store the events from maybe from some SaaS or some database. And the second part is event computing. Event computing can transform, can filter, maybe can calculation the events based the users based the user want. And yeah, this is the Venus core. And it's all the two part is built on container. And the second part is the Venus Connect. Venus Connect is used to get events from event source. And for example, if you upload a picture to the Amazon S3, maybe that generates events. And Venus source can get the events. And if you want to handle the picture, you need this event. I mean, yeah, Venus Connect can get the events, and maybe he can to translate the event to trigger a function, maybe lambda or other functions. Yeah, and they also can can store the events to maybe Hadoop or other database and other maybe data lakes, for example, BigQuery or some data systems. Here, it store the data by the sync connector. Sync connector is a software to command to store the events to the database or the SAS. And there also a key the key component we call the SIE is service connector engine. This command where you can use this to scale up and scale down the connectors. Yes, so we can use a case to introduce the how the Vanus work. For example, if there is a messenger, for example, there is a messenger from the GitHub. This messenger may be someone get a star or someone for issue to the GitHub. Maybe he generate events and Vanus can get the events. And maybe he can have a maybe the user want to filter or transform the events. He can use some function to do that. And if the user setting the function to how to handle the events. And okay, if the events to the Vanus, he can the source connectors can get the events to the Vanus core. First is to the store the events to the event store, and second he push the events to the event computing. Event computing can calculate the events by the function the user need, and then he can send the event to the maybe to the BigQuery or maybe to the Snowflakes and by the sync connector. Yeah, this is maybe a generally processing or event from the event source to the event target. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I have a short overview to the Vanus event processing. Yeah. I think maybe event processing is very useful for the user in some scenarios, because now many event streaming platforms have not built-in event processing. Yeah, for example, Kafka also you use the Kafka have not the ability to event processing. If you want to handle some events, or you want to filter or transform the events, you must use the use the Kissacro or use the Flink to do that. But if you use Vanus, you don't use any other software. Only Vanus is enough. If some, for example, if maybe the event source generates the event is very complex, like this. But maybe you use the maybe the user need the data is very simple like that. For example, he want to store some key info to the relational database. Yeah, and if there is a gap, there is a very big gap, but Vanus processing can fill the gap. The users can setting some functions to handle the events from this to this. Yes, and it's very quickly. It's in the real time. And the Vanus processing, we provide many mechanisms to handle the events. For example, you can use the filter rules to do this. We have provided many filter rules for example, exact prefix, suffix, node, and many. We all use you can all use the CE circle to do that. This is the first. The second, we also Venus also provides some ETL functions, for example, create, delete, move, rename, and so on. Also very thanks to the contributors. Maybe the contributors today is join the meeting, and Venus also have some function is contributed by our developers. Yeah, very thank you. Thank you, you participate. And now we all in the future we also can add many ELT functions. Because of this, user use Venus can easily to handle many complex events. Yeah, this is the second type. The third type is window function. Window function maybe like there is the time window. You can use the window function to get the max, the mini, the average, the sum of the value of the window. Recently, this function Venus have no provide, but in the future we can provide this type of functions. And we also in the future we also provide a special function is AI function. For example, you want to translate the events from a language to another language, you can use the AI functions. We maybe can also provide many AI functions to let the events handle very easy, very useful. Yeah, this is event processing. I also want to introduce some scenarios. Because I want to tell you guys why in some scenarios can use the Venus, because now in the market have many event processing platform, event MSQ, event brokers, all the products have same functions maybe. So I want to introduce this to help the user to choose the best software in the best software in the right scenarios. And yeah, there are four signs. That four signs is the event streaming platform are usually used. First signs is microservice to microservice. Yeah, maybe in some scenarios you also want to send the messenger from one microservice to another microservice. In that scenario, I think you need to use the event stream platform, or you also use the MSQ is also to support these scenarios. And there are in the market there are many this type of software. For example, IBM MSQ, Confluent, Streamnative, Typicals also can. They are the business players. They also provide this product to use. You can use this product to do that. And they also have some open source players, for example, Kafka, for example, RabbitMQ, for example, Pulsar, for example. Venus also can support these scenarios. And Venus, I think maybe Venus advance in this scenario is Venus is a Kubernetes native event streaming platform. It has auto elastic. Yes. This is the advance in this scenario. So if some users is very careful the scale, the elastic, yes, the source efficiency, maybe they can use the Venus in that scenario. Yeah, because the Venus built on the Kubernetes. So, and the second science is the database to database. Maybe many users want to sync the data from a database to database. For example, he can sync the data from the MySQL to the PostgreSQL to the Snowflake to the BigQuery. Yeah, in this science also can use the Venus or some similar product to do that. In this science, we call maybe we usually call data integration. In this science also have many players, and the business player, for example, Informatica, Confluent, Fivetran, Allied. For example, Informatica is maybe is a very old company. They can use the Informatica can sync the data from the on-premise, maybe from on-premise database, a database to B database. It is his classical science. And Confluent also can use. You can also use the Confluent to do it in the cloud. Maybe in the cloud is better. Use Confluent. Fivetran also is the best choice. Everybody is a new choice. And there are also some open source players, for example, Airbyte, Venus. Yeah, but Venus also have some great features. For example, when if you use Venus in this scenario, the Venus is most key feature is faster. Venus is faster, very faster than Fivetran and Airbyte. Maybe if you use the syncer data from A database to B database used if you add byte of Fivetran, maybe you can set the the interval. Well, for example, 1 day, for example, 12 hours, at latest 1 hour. But if you use Venus, maybe 1 second is yes from the database A database to B database 1 second. You can find the event to the target because Venus is a streaming. Yes, he can streaming platform. He can sync the data in real time. Yeah, this is the this advantage is because of his Vanus architecture. Yeah. And the third scenario things is SaaS to SaaS. Maybe if you want to deliver the event from A SaaS to B SaaS, for example, maybe you can deliver the events from maybe from the email to the Google Sheet and to other maybe from the Facebook to the Snowflake to the Google Sheet to the other maybe. And this segment is iPaaS. In this segment maybe there also have many many basic business players, for example Zapier, for example MuleSoft. And Venus also can support in this science. The Venus the advances is also faster. For example, in this science, is maybe there are few open source players, and there are. If you use Zapier, most of the Zapier's scenario is slow. For example, if you use Zapier to want to send events from the Gmail to Google Sheet, maybe you can take about 10 minutes and maybe 20 minutes. It's a long time. But if you use Venus from the email to Google Sheet, maybe you only use 1 second or 2 seconds. You can. Yes, it's very different. It's a very different experience. And the fourth scenario is from SaaS to database. Yeah, maybe you can unless you need unless the events to from the SaaS. Yeah, in these scenarios also have some business players, for example, Venus, Red Stack, All Data. But in this is in these scenarios have no many huge players. Yes, or in this scenario is new players. Venus is one of the new players. Venus, yes, Venus Advantage also faster. Yeah, faster. Okay. I want to introduce one use case for you guys. Maybe you can use this. You can use this use case. You can understand Venus better. Maybe and this use case is we want to turn the events into business opportunity. In some in the for the modern enterprise, many enterprise want to insight many opportunities. So Venus can collect events in real time for some source events. Some event source, for example, Twitter, Facebook, GitHub, Shopify, and so on. They can collect the events from all these events source to the Snowflake and to the Snowflake or BigQuery or other data lake or other data lake products, and the enterprise can insight into more business opportunities through the data analytics. Yes, and they also use the Venus can deliver the events to the to the Gmail, maybe to the ChatGPT, to the IM tools. This is the one use case of Venus. In this case, the use Venus is very easy because the Venus provide many connectors. You can use connectors to attract the events very easy. If you want to process the events, you all need to set some functions. You can process the events. This is some connector that we will support. In the future, we can support more connectors. Maybe in the end of this year, we want to support about 200 connectors, cover the most popular SaaS and cloud service. Okay, this is my short introduce about Vanus. Thank you, everyone. Listen. Okay.
Well, thank you, Lucas, very much for your speech. I'm going to have first of all, we can have a short Q&A. If you guys have any question for Lucas, that'd be great. You guys can ask your question, or you guys can also comment your question in the chat. Both are okay. If you want to open your mic and ask a question or write a question on the mic, we're going to take a few minutes for that. And at the same time, Lucas, maybe you can give me back the host, so after I can share the PPT, my PPT.
Okay.
All right. So anybody has a question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Nice meeting you. So I'm kind of new to the event streaming. And all this. And I'm really glad to meet your team. Could you please take a few minutes to share some points about your background? Because that would be very interesting.
Thank you.
Do you understand the question? He asked you. Could you share some points about what's your background? What's like what's like? I guess
I know. You want to me share some background why we create the Venus?
Yeah. What was the story?
Okay.
Technical background and how you came to
what you studied,
where you started. Yes, studied, worked, and
I think. Okay. In fact, all our team members is all focused on the infrastructure software many years. So we are very pay attention to the change of the software for software architecture. I think maybe the opportunity for me. I think the opportunity is maybe the 2020, the year of 2020. Because I think in this year, many enterprises want to change their change their software architecture. In the past, the software architecture, I think maybe is not cloud native. I think nowadays more and more enterprise deploy their software to the cloud. You know, cloud is very different from the on-premise because cloud have elastic, have pay as you go. So if the software architecture don't change, maybe they are not very suitable for the cloud. As a result, maybe the enterprise need to pay more money. For example, in the past, when it deploy their software on premise, they don't need to pay more money because for the long running software. But today, if the enterprise deployed their software to cloud, long-running software is not very friendly for the enterprise because long-running means many money he must to give the money to the cloud providers. So I think because of this reason, now there are many cloud native product brand. For example, Kubernetes. For example, serverless. Serverless is a very important feature. Is fully elastic and is running command you need. If you need many, if there are if there are a huge traffic, maybe a service architecture, a service-based system can scale a big cluster very quickly. And if the traffic is gone, it also can scale down very quickly. This feature is very different to the traditional software architecture. I think in this scenario, need a new either a new MySQL or new event streaming platform to support this scenario. And you can see in the last, you can see the Kafka or the RabbitMQ. They all the MySQL or the event stream platform is born in about 2010. In that years, there are no in that time Kubernetes are not born and the container are not born. So the Kafka or this type of the event stream platforms are not have the cloud native genes. Yeah. So I think the air need a new software to support the new scenarios.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the story we want to create a new message systems or new event streaming systems to need the new requirement. I think this is now is a very huge requirement if many enterprise deploy their system to the cloud. For example, in China, I share a set data for you. In China, maybe there are many enterprise also use the Kafka or other enterprise, but most of these enterprise are deploying the Kafka to hardware or virtual machines, not containers. This is a big problem. Maybe in the future is a very big problem because many more and more applications are deployed to the Kubernetes. But if only the event streaming platform only only need to the hardware I think it's not convenient for the users because they must hold two type of infra. Yes. So I think in the future, maybe all of the software is deployed to the container, to the Kubernetes. In that time, Vanus is the best choice because Vanus is Kubernetes native. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can add to that. Like he was saying, a lot of event streaming platform at this time, you cannot make them serverless. Like they're not made to be run like, let's say, into like those like pay as you go. Like for example, when you use Venice, if you don't have any traffic, and which COVID at the time of COVID showed that to companies and to developers, that if we pay for like expensive server and no one uses them, we're losing a lot of money, we're losing a lot of resources. So Vanus can really help us to deploy it in like serverless way. And if there's no traffic, then it won't be using the resources, so you will pay less money. I think like if you run Venice in like AWS, for example, you will have the feature to pay as you go, and you will save a lot of money and a lot of resources. And that's why we think it's really the future. Like we need to move from having our own server, physical server, to having in the cloud. I think it's the right time for that. Yeah. Does anybody have any other question? Even Alan, if you have another question, it's great. Like I said, you guys can speak your question or write them in the comments. Okay. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hello? Yes, you have a question?
Hi.
Can you hear us?
While we were trying to connect, I have another question, if I may.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you start? When did you start to build Vanus? When did you come up with the idea?
When did we start? When did Vanus start?
When I start
Yeah.
from the 2021.
Yeah, so 2021. And before the project was private, we had developers come together to Do you have a question? Sorry, Agbabuwa, I think. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Do you have any questions? Your mic is open.
I don't think he can hear you. I think he just mutes him.
Okay, sure. Lucas, could you mute him or give me host because I'm gonna need to share the PPT. You just gotta go to my name, and then there's gonna be a setting make host.
Make host.
You
means I want
you want my account.
I change the host for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait me. I will.
All right. So yeah. In 2021, Venice started. A bunch of developers from other companies. We just all joined together to build Venice, and then afterwards. We had planned to make it public, and since last year in December, we made it public on GitHub, and the community and everything has grown so much, and we're so thankful because I think without the community, I don't think it's very hard to build like all the connector, all the function, all the work, and like we can work together. It's awesome. But we always had planned from the beginning to make it open source. That was the model, and yeah.
Maybe you can share.
And
Are you able to do it? Yeah. Did you have any other question?
to follow up on that, are there any current clients already? Is it operational?
Yeah.
And is there income stream? When did the first income come? And when do you plan to break even operational?
So first of all, Vanus is completely free, and the cloud, like the open source version, will always be free. I think I told in the group to some people, we're going to have a SaaS version, will also be free at the moment. The SaaS version will basically be the same as the open source version, but in the cloud. As that means we're going to host it. So for companies that are not like efficient, like they don't have the time or they don't want to build it themselves on their own server, they can use the SaaS version. But for like the near future to the long future, it's going to be free. And even the SaaS will always have a free version in the future. But also, Lucas, maybe you can talk more about this.
The cloud.
So his question was, what was our plan to make money in the future?
Oh, okay.
And
a great question.
yeah.
In fact, we all the Venus Cloud maybe I think we want to free for maybe a long time but there are also in the future there are two versions for the Venus Cloud, a free version and the a pay version. And the free version maybe is if you use the many events every day, maybe you can use the pay version. If you want to, if you business is not very busy, maybe you can use the free version. And but most of the future we can open source. You also can use the open source Venus to deploy on your cloud or on your local to support your business. But if you want to very easy, we also have definitely the Venus Cloud is easy. You don't need to operation. You don't need to deploy, and you just use. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We have two versions. In a couple days, actually, I'm gonna share with you guys. In a couple days, we're gonna have our alpha version of Vanus Cloud.
Alan, if you interested, we invite you to test our Vanus Cloud in next week. We can online.
Yeah. So we'll let you know. And also your other question. The open source version, actually, there's a few companies that are already using it in their own infrastructure. And even some of them are wanting to turn to the cloud, Vanus Cloud version in the future.
You can start here.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to change that.
All right, just give me a second. I'm gonna try to help them
Sorry.
to change it. No problem. Let me see. Just here, my name, and then here. Then host. I don't know which one it is.
Okay, I know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Cool.
you are the host.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me share with you just 1 second. I'm going to share with you guys about the community. Some future plan that we want to have. Let me see. Sorry. All right, so this here. All right, it's going to be pretty short. All right, so here. All right, so basically we have planned for the community. We have some plan for the community to make the the community maybe more fun and more active, and also to be able to give roles to the community, the contributors that have put a lot of effort in Vanus. And so, first of all, I want to talk about the collaboration roles. And so, the first thing in the first role is a contributor. So anybody that has merged a contribution, has made a contribution, can get the title of Vanus contributor, and you can use this title as anywhere you want. That's totally fine. And the power of a contributor is that we're going to make a private group next week, and this private group you can share about, like, ask question, like, in that group, so others can help each other. And this is for all PRs from Vanus to Vanus Connect to Docs. And then here afterwards, if you've been contributing for a long time, you can become a committer. A Vanus committer will have the power to merge the PR. So basically in GitHub, if you review a PR, after you review it, you'll have the power to merge the PR. Those people that are really committed to Vanus and to the open source, we want to give them the power to review other people's work and to merge into the main project. So that's what their power is going to be, merge PRs. And also, I'm going to talk about it later. We're going to have SIG groups. So an SIG is a special, an SIG group is a special interest group. That's what I was looking for. So we're going to have special interest groups, and the committers will have the opportunity to become leaders in the SIGs. And then afterwards, the people that are really, like, first of all, they've contributed a lot. They're committed to the open source, to the community, and they've been merging PRs well and taking the time to review them well. We're going to have Vanus PMC members. A PMC is a project management committee member, and basically those people will have, like, a lot of impact into the project, the open source project. First of all, they will have the title project management committee members. Also, their powers will be to be able to review and merge PRs. They will be the one in charge of choosing which contributor can become committers, which contributors are the committers. They will have the power to elect the contributors to committers, to give them the power to merge PRs. They'll have the ability to make decision about the roadmap of Vanus, so the future plans of Vanus, the future features. The PMC members, they'll be able to voice their opinion on which function or which things that Vanus should have in the future, with the core group of people that have developed from the beginning. They will have the right to propose new SIGs, so they will have the right to tell us, to tell the community, like, they would like to start a new SIG, a new focus group on something else. They will also have the right to propose sub-project under Vanus Labs. So the PMC can start a new project, let's say something like they could propose something new, like a brand new project that doesn't really have to do with Vanus, but will be under Vanus Labs, and they could help manage that. Each role will also have a special badge displayed on our website. I will talk more about the display on our website later, but I want to just show you, like, a badge like this. This is not the final badge, but just a picture. Like, let's say you'll have your picture from your GitHub, and then your name, and then your badge, and then if you click on that icon, it will bring it to your GitHub account. So we want to be able to display those people that have worked hard for Vanus. Let me continue. Also, we're going to have GitHub ambassadors, and basically an ambassador is someone that just shares about Vanus. And to be an ambassador, you just have to talk on social media, write articles, make videos, share Vanus. And basically, we want to have a program for those people who maybe don't want to, like, they don't know how to code, or they don't want to add code to Vanus, but they want to share Vanus. And we'll have ambassador and advanced ambassador. And when we have events, we'll have special events, and everybody that's part of Vanus community, when we have swag bag, I don't know if you guys know what a swag bag is, like maybe like a t-shirt about Vanus or some special equipment, those ambassadors, those committers, those contributors will receive those gifts also. Yeah, and also ambassador will have a special badge for ambassador. Okay, so about GitHub monthly levels. Our contributor program provides like a gamification. So to make it more fun, we're going to have XP and levels every single month. You will restart to 0. And the more you do contribution, the more you do different things in the community, the more you will gain points. And then the 4 highest level for the month, they will be displayed on the front page of the community of Vanus. And then there will be a button to see all the contributors in the other page, just like this. This is just an example. We plan to build this next week on our website. How to get points? I think that's a very important point. If you build Vanus function per the issue, you will get 4 to 5 points in the future. I just changed the point a little bit to make more sense. If you have 10 points, you will go up a level. So let's say you build 2 functions, you will go up a level. Vanus connectors are pretty complicated and time consuming, so they will be 10 points per connectors. Vanus docs, so if there's an issue on a Vanus docs, if you fix a bug or a grammar mistake or a typo or something like that in our docs, you will win 1 to 2 points depending on the size of the error. Retweet Vanus main account. If let's say you go on Twitter and you retweet the Vanus main account, I want people who also retweet to get points. So you'll get point for every single retweet that you do. Weekly activity. Let's say if you're messaging in the general chat or in the groups. Sorry, someone just joined in. If you're sharing in the any groups in Vanus community, then every week you will get points that will accumulate. Join the bi-weekly meeting. You will get point also. And I think also the point, I might adjust the point a little bit to make it better, but you can see the idea here. And then write Vanus blogs. If you want to write an article about Vanus or something connected with Vanus, we'd be more than happy to post it on our website. If it follows it's good quality, we'd be happy to post it on our website. And then you would have like your name and you could what's the word? Publish. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. You can publish on our website, and you will gain points for sure. Next. Also, I want to talk about the SIGs. So for now, we're going to start 2 new SIGs, and one is going to be for connector, and one's going to be for function. The connector SIG, just first of all, let's say like a connector, Vanus connector provides out-of-the-box connectors that enables you to integrate with popular service and application without writing code. So the source connector and the sync connector. Last meeting we had Jay who shared how to build a connector. And basically when you build a connector is you find a way to get the event from a SaaS application or a cloud application, and then you transform it into a cloud event to send it to Vanus. That's the basic source connector. And the sync connector, it receives a cloud event from Vanus, and then it makes the logic to connect to, let's say, MySQL. So it will take the data from the cloud event and transform it into the right string to put inside MySQL, for example, or any other SaaS or any other application. So we're looking forward to have more people who are interested in contributing in Connector. If you contribute in Connector, you'll be a Vanus Connect contributor. And then also we have the function SIG. We've been sharing a lot of issues about function, and a lot of people have done function, and it's so amazing I think you guys have done a great job with the function. But a function basically is a function is a pre-built method that performs certain action in Vanus transform and are grouped into categories like string, mathematical, and yeah. And so the function basically, you code a function is basically an action that you can, like in in the transformer, the user can write the function and then make it do a special transformation to the event. And so if you're interested in building more functions are part of Vanus Core. And so if you contribute, you'll be a contributor to Vanus Core. And we also like to have that. And also, if you guys are interested to be in both and also be in the contributor SIG and the function SIG, you're more than welcome to be. And I want to show you a little bit like a connector issue. It looks a bit like this. What is a Vanus connector? So here I already explained, but like here, for example, the feature of this connector, it's a sync Google Sheet, allows you to insert a new role based on the incoming cloud event. And our contributor who did this is Ahis, and maybe Ahis, you would like to share how did you build a connector sync for Google Sheet? Would you like to share with us? Just a few seconds, just a few more. I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, it really took a lot. I had to make a lot of studies. Had to first understand how the different APIs that the Google Sheet require. So I had to make research and study the different documentations Google Sheet had for inserting and creating Google Sheet. Then I started implementing the template from the Go templates sync connector, and I had a lot of issues, and I had Michael and Jay to guide me whenever I got stuck. Yeah, it's done now. My Google Sheet sync was merged, and I'm really happy. A Vanus connector contributor.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And also, yeah, he was mentioning templates. So right now we have a CDK. CDK is like it's like an SDK but for connectors, so CDK. And we have a Golang CDK and a Java CDK with templates for both connector source and connector sync. And because of cloud events in the future, we will most likely have more CDKs for other languages. But if you want to develop connectors at the moment, it's mostly in Golang and Java. But we would be more than happy to help you develop those connectors. If you have any issue, if you're learning Golang, don't be afraid to choose to make a function. A function might be a little faster depending on the function you choose. But even making a connector, we'll be more than happy to share with you to help you in that. And so here also the function, I just want to share with you like a little bit like the function, how it is. We have here the function today, and I'm not going to put someone else on the spot. But, this is one of the functions that's being made right now, but basically this function will add the time to the event. So basically the function works like this. Pipeline. The pipeline is where we put all the function inside the transformer inside when you build the subscription. The command today. And then here you have the path that you're going to put the time or the event, the data, but you can choose which path that you want. So in that case, it's in data and it's .time, and the time where the time is where. And so here you can see the time is displayed right here. This is the result. It will add the time inside data time. But yeah, so those are function, and that's how function works. And functions are only in Golang because Vanus is in Golang. But like if you know Golang, if if you're learning Golang, we'd be more than happy to have you in our SIG. And lastly, I want to talk about SIG roles because we want to build we really want to build an ecosystem inside the SIG. So to be your own little group. And so basically the SIG will have, for now, the role, they will have a leader and co-leaders. Those people have to be committers and Vanus PMC members either. They can be committers or PMC, because those people will be in charge of merging the PR and reviewing the PR of the SIG. Basically, the leader and the co-leader, they can work together to start meetings and talk about new function we should have or new connectors and so on, and help the others. And also we want to have some mentors, people that have done connectors before. This role is it's a self-chosen role. If you've done connectors or function before, you can help others. And for example, I've seen in our community, Ellen, he just started making function, but he already has the mentor attitude by helping others that are asking questions, and that's really awesome. And that's the news for Vanus community. And do you guys have any question? And thank you for listening, by the way. The meeting was a little longer than last time, but I think it was really good. Do you have any question about the community?
Thank you a lot, Michael. That was really detailed and
okay, good, awesome. Would you guys? I hope you guys are interested. Let me know if you're interested to join an SIG. Message me. I will make some posts about it next week, and we're going to get the community groups, and yeah. All right, so I guess if there's no question, thank you so much for, awesome, Caleb, thank you for being interested. That's great. Let me know on Slack. Just make sure, is your name Caleb on Slack? I think so, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think in this meeting also have some developers cannot in our Slack channel, so we can send the links to the.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Because we shared the.
Yeah, I sent the link to the
general,
to the chart group. So I don't know who can't, if anyone can't join the.
That's a good point. Thank you. Let me let me do something.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see it. Yeah. So we send the invite group for the Slack channel. If you're not already in the Slack channel, you can join.
Time zone. Then you can join you can join our Slack on the link.
Yeah, just in the meeting chat.
Yeah, welcome time zone.
Yeah. And yeah, let me know if you guys are interested, and I'm gonna make some posts, and I'm excited to start this, and I look forward to the future of our community. I'm really happy that you guys are so active, and it's really encouraging. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for your time.
Okay.
Have a great evening. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you. See you next. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you next meeting.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.